Hi, we are continuing with our uh, adventure through the contract that you've gotten a contract. We've had our inspection. Now you're going to receive your report, your inspection report, and it's going to have pictures and descriptions of the things that aren't working perfectly in the house. Because, as we said, they've checked everything, they've walked over everything, they're giving you a lot of ideas about things like the heat and air and the roof and all of those items. So, um, taking with a grain of salt all the things that we had talked about in the previous video about the inspection, look at that list and see what it is that is a structural issue or a safety issue that you would like to request. Now, on occasion, there may be some what we would consider a cosmetic issue that you feel like just has to be taken care of for you to accept the house. You can ask. That doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but you can ask. So once you do your proposal, we'll write it up, excuse me, and do your proposal, then it gets presented to the seller. Now, on your contract, you have a certain number of days to complete this resolution. This is the resolution, could be anywhere from 3 to 7 days. But if you are the person buying and you think that the seller may offer you a credit, or you prefer a credit instead of having them do the work, maybe you don't feel like they'll hire a good professional and you feel like you'd like to see it through yourself and make sure that it was done to your satisfaction, you may want to get estimates so that if they do offer you a credit, you know if it's within the realm of you getting the work completed satisfactorily. So that is an option. You can take a few days and get inspections. But once you get to the proposal, then you have just a certain amount of time to go back and forth and get it all worked out. Now, there are circumstances that come up where you may have to do an extension, but the people do not have to grant you an extension. So understand that that's a whole nother negotiation. So they've received your proposal, and as a seller, they're going to look at it. They need to put on their tough skin. If you're the seller, put on your tough skin and take a look at it and see what it is in there that you are willing to do. If it's structural or safety issue, it would be prudent to go ahead and get that done. But if not, you can select to do a few of the items and write it up on a proposal and send it back. This is going to be a back and forth sort of thing. Or you can offer a credit in lieu of the repairs, or you can go ahead and decide you're going to do all of them. Either way, you're going to send a proposal back. Once everybody's in agreement on this, then you will sign an amendment that becomes part of the contract saying that these things will be done. And generally, you need to get to work on them right away. It has to be done 2 or 3 days before the actual closing, because they'll come and do a walkthrough and check those items, and you'll need to provide receipts and show that it has been completed. Most of the time, they will ask that you have a professional do the work. So you should have a receipt at that point. Once that inspection period is done, you are well on your way to going to the closing table. If your buyer is getting financing, if you're the buyer and you're getting financing, there is one more hurdle you have to go over, and that is an appraisal. The appraisal generally happens very near the end of the contract period. So remember, the appraisal is one person's opinion of the house that you're buying. So should it come in low, which doesn't happen often, but it does happen, then the agents will work together to see if there's anything that they may have missed, or they can offer some comparables that might change the status, but it's very unusual for an appraiser to change his opinion of the price. Now, because it is just one person's opinion, you can request a new appraisal, but you will have to pay for a new appraisal, and it will extend the time to your closing, which the sellers may or may not want to do. So there's different ways to address getting through the low appraisal. As I said, it doesn't happen very often. The thing to do is to get everything done. Just go with the assumption it's going to be great. You picked a great house and everything is going to work out fine, which it does the majority of the time. So count on your realtor. If something does come up like that, that's why you have a realtor. They have lots of experience. Many things have happened in the course of closing many deals. So we have the ability to draw on all that information and figure out ways to help you through it and make it all work out as best we can. So you've made it through. You're just waiting on your appraisal, and soon you'll be heading to the closing table.